Hey sweet friends, welcome back to From the Holler. If you're new, my name is Missy, and I am finally sitting down to do part 2 of Aiden's story. Y'all, these are hard to do for me, okay? They just are, and just having to go back and remember these things, it's tough, okay? It's very tough emotionally on me, but it's so important that this gets put out there. It really is, because this is part of our addiction story, okay? And it needs to be told. Unfortunately, it's just part of it, okay? This is part of the hand that we've been dealt over the past 14 years dealing with my son's addiction. And his addiction has affected his child in a lot of ways. And this is part of it. So let's get into part 2 of Aiden's story. I'm going to try to hold it together through this. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. So let's do this. So I think where I left off with part 1 was where I went and got joint custody, or I took my son's custody of Aiden away. And I had joint custody with Aiden's birth mother, okay? And that lasted for about 2.5 years, okay? I had Aiden more than anybody did. But she was working, and of course I was at home, so I had Aiden. She would come and get him, or I would take him to her on her days off. And I got to noticing it didn't take long for her days off to become less and less, okay? She was supposed to be working, and whole other story. But anyway, so on Aiden's 2nd birthday, she asked if he could spend the night with her on his birthday. I had no problem with that, none at all. And about 11:30 at night, I guess, I get a phone call from her, and she is crying her eyes out, just squalling and bawling, and asking me if we could come and get her and Aiden, that they were being kicked out of the house that she was sharing with my daughter-in-law's ex-husband and his children, or their children, whatever. Anyway, y'all, it is storming to beat 60, okay? It was a monsoon, and thunder and lightning and hail and all the things. And here we go. We take off up there, and we pull in the driveway. They're out on the front porch fighting. She's got Aiden in her arms. He's screaming. He's tired. It's midnight by this time. He's tired. She woke him up. She grabbed him up out of bed, woke him up. He was not a happy camper. And so I go up on the porch, and I just take him, and we run to the truck. We had taken the truck, and I put him in his little seat, and rub his little face and all that, and tell him it's okay, Nanny's here. Nanny's here. And I go back to help carry the stuff to the truck. We're trying to get in and out, okay? Be done with it. And they just want to fight. And I told them both, just shut up. Just shut up. Go get in the truck. If you're going, go get in the truck. I'm not going to stand here in this storm with that baby sitting over there in the truck waiting on us. Go get in the truck. And I looked at him, and I said, she'll be back to get the rest of her and Aiden's stuff. And if anything is missing or thrown away, you're going to have to deal with me. So we get in the truck, we head home. I had a guest room. Okay, our house is a 3-bedroom house, and it was just Paps and I living here. One of the bedrooms I had turned into my office, and the other room, I told her, I said, you can have this end of the house. My house is separated. The master bedroom is on one end of the house, and then the other 2 bedrooms are on this end of the house, and there's a bathroom between them. And I told her, I said, you can have this end, and this will be your private area. Nobody will bother you. Nobody will bother your stuff. Okay? You've got privacy here. This is yours and Aiden's space. And things went well. The phone that she had, he kept because it was on his plan, so he took it away from her, of course. So I took her to our cell phone company, and I let her pick out a phone that she wanted, and I added her to my plan, bought and paid for the phone, which I thought was pretty nice, and provided her with a phone so that, she could be looking for a job or whatever. And I told her, you guys, Paps and I both told her, look, live here, okay? All we ask is, one, you keep your area clean, okay? And you be a mama to that baby. You take care of that baby. That's all we ask. That was it. She didn't have to go find a job. We told her if she wanted to for some spending money or whatever, she could. But if she didn't, then just be a mom to Aiden. You know what I'm saying? We seriously asked nothing of this girl. Okay? If we went out to eat, of course she went with us. If we went out and about on a day trip or whatever, she went with us. We supplied everything. If I went to Walmart, she got something. Okay? I'm telling you, we did everything possible for this girl. Food, clothes, personal items, toiletry items, whatever she needed, we supplied. Now, this went on everything was good for about 7 months or so. And I started noticing that, she was coming and going quite a bit. And she would take Aiden and tell me that they were going to stay at people's houses and stuff like that. And y'all, had I known then what I know now, he would have never went with her. Never. But I kind of felt like, well, that's his mother. You know what I'm saying? And then I find out that she's on TikTok, and she has huge aspirations to be a big TikTok star. And she is including Aiden in that. And there are some very unsavory, and I got on there and, looked at her account and saw the videos, and there were some very unsavory comments on there about my grandson. And, I asked her not to put him in the videos anymore, or to block those people or whatever, it's dangerous. Kind of like, me putting him on here, but just letting every Tom, Dick, and Harry comment and say whatever they want to say about him. That's not going to happen. Okay? Yeah. And then about the 1st of October of that year, she moved in February. And then about the 1st of October, she said that she was in some group on TikTok, okay? And I don't know. I don't know. I don't keep up with that, y'all. I do not. But she said that they were planning a meet and greet with each other, so they could all meet up and, get to know each other in person. And somebody had offered to pay her way to go from here to Vegas. And they were paying for her hotel room. All she had to pay for was food. Y'all, we give her money, okay? We gave her money and told her to go. We encouraged her to go, okay? We did. We encouraged her to go. Go have a good time. We got Aiden. She was going to be gone almost 2 weeks. Go have fun. We've got Aiden. No problem. Here's you some money, a little bit of spending money, a little bit of food money, you know what I'm saying? And I took her and dropped her off at the airport. And she went to Vegas. And 2 weeks later, she came back. But when she came back, she was a little different. Just a little bit different. And I noticed a change in her. She was very short-fused, especially with Aiden. And there was one time where I was on the phone with Paps, and she had Aiden in his high chair, trying to get him to eat, and he was fussy. He didn't want to eat. He was a 2-year-old, 2-year-old little boy, okay? And she started screaming at him. And I just kind of sat there and looked at her like, what are you doing? And I listened to her, okay? I mean, I am not condoning this, but as mamas, every now and then, we have our moments, okay? And I gave her a moment to suck it up and get over it, get past it, realize what she was doing. And she didn't do that. She kept on, and it just kept getting worse. I'm sitting here on the phone, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I finally just jumped up and I screamed at her. Okay? She kind of went back like this. And I said, stop screaming at that baby. And I didn't say it that nicely. Okay? I did not. And I said, do you appreciate being screamed at right now? No. Okay then. And I will not say exactly what I said to her. I'll put it nicely. Okay, shut up. Shut up. And Pap said, do I need to come home? And I'm like, nope, I'll talk to you later. I'm good. And yeah, I said, if you can't do any better than that, just go on in there and leave him alone. I've got this. Okay? You're his mama. And if you can't do no better than that, go on. Just go on. This wasn't the first incident, but it was the last one. Okay? So she goes and pouts. She won't have anything to do. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So that's where things started going downhill really quick. Okay? So March 2020 rolled around. We all know what happened then. Okay? Aiden had just celebrated his 3rd birthday, and we'd had a little party and all that. And Paps and I and our daughter and son-in-law had decided that we were going to make a trip to see our oldest son and daughter-in-law in upstate New York. That's where they were living at the time. And we had bought the plane tickets and all that. And, I had it set up with her to take care of the animals. At that time, we had the 3 little Yorkie poos, and we had a bigger dog, a red tick hound, and his name was Rocket. And she was supposed to stay here and take care of the dogs. The little dogs have a doggy door that they can get in and out, so no problem. But Rocket, you had to physically let him out because he stayed in another area. He stayed in our little storage area, and you had to go and physically let him in and out. He was a spoiled dog, okay? He's no longer with us, but so we drive to Middle Tennessee because that's where we're going to fly out of. And we stayed with our daughter and son-in-law overnight, and we were supposed to board the plane the following day. So we were going to be there 2 nights to spend the night with them. And then we were going to board the plane and head to New York. And I woke up the first morning, and y'all, I had such anxiety, such panic in my heart. Okay, I can't explain it. Like, my heart, it had to be doing 180 beats per minute. I'm not even kidding. Like, it was pounding out of my chest, and I couldn't stop crying. Something was wrong, and I knew it. We had just found out at Christmas 2019 that my daughter was expecting a baby, and then we all know what hit in March 2020, and I didn't know if that was it. My fear for her to be on an airplane and possibly getting sick, because y'all, we didn't know. Okay, we didn't know what was what. We just knew what we were what we were being told. Okay, lies or not, what we were being told, and I don't care who likes that. So I told him, I said, I can't get on that plane. I can't get on that plane. And I said, you don't need to get on that plane. Talking to my daughter, you don't need to get on that plane. Here's my reasons why. And sorry about that. Had a phone call, had to take it, and had to grab me a snack to finish this video. I love these things. Anyway, so we sat around at the kitchen table and we talked about it, and Pat said, if you're having this type of reaction, we're not going. We'll just call and tell them we're not coming. And we had plane tickets at that time were pretty cheap, especially leaving out of Nashville and going to where we were going. So we didn't have a whole lot of money in it, okay? And so we just decided not to go. And that sick feeling it stayed with me, okay? I was relieved that we weren't going and, putting my daughter in danger and all that stuff. But I kept trying to get a hold of Aiden's mother, okay? She wouldn't answer the phone I was paying for. She wouldn't answer the phone. She wouldn't answer a text message. I called and I called and I called for the rest of that day. So we decided that evening we're going to go home in the morning and we're going to find out what's going on, okay? And so we got up the next morning. We headed home. We did not tell her that we were coming home. Nothing. As far as she knew, we were on a flight to upstate New York. And we were going to be gone for a few days and then be home. So, now mind you, we had been at my daughter's for 2 days. So we get home and she is nowhere to be found. My house is a disaster. And the little dogs had no food or water, nothing, okay? Luckily, they were able to get through the doggy door and, handle things. But the big dog had not been let out, and he didn't have any food or water since right before I left. I fed and watered all of the dogs right before we left, so she wouldn't have to worry about it for a little while. But the big dog had no food or water whatsoever. He had been locked in that area the whole time we were gone, 2.5 days, okay, because it took us 3 hours to get home. And yeah, he had no way of getting out, none whatsoever. So that was a huge mess. And had we went on to New York like we had planned, and stayed gone for a few more days, my animals would have been dead, especially him. Okay, the little dogs could get out and go find water, food. Yeah, but water they could have gotten out, and we have bowls sitting outside, and I wash them, and especially in the summertime. I know this was in March, but especially in the summertime, I try to leave bowls of water out for the animals, for the simple fact that it is hotter than blue blazes here, and they need water, and I put ice cubes and everything in it. But anyway, my animals would have been dead. I was furious, like furious. Okay. So I send her a message, and I'm like, hey, we decided to come home. Where you guys at? I want to come get Aiden because I want to take him to the zoo tomorrow. So where you at? And instantly, boom, I got a response. I'm at my mom's. You mean the same mom that, used Aiden for benefits from the state? You talking about that mom? The mom that tried to take him away from you? You talking about that mom? So I told her, I said, okay, I'm coming to get him. And I get there, and her mom lives in low-income apartments. And I pull up, and he's outside by himself. There is not an adult anywhere around. Nowhere. Okay? He is outside by himself. And he is filthy nasty, which, he's a little boy playing outside. Okay. I'm trying to understand. Okay? And he sees me, and, we just run for each other, and Nanny, and, yeah, that baby, woo, Lord, he's my life, okay? And somebody comes to the door and says, can I help you? And I said, I'm picking him up. They're standing in his other grandmother's door, so were you supposed to be watching him? And I said, where's his mom at? Oh, she's next door. And sorry about that, guys. Another phone call I had to take. It is like Grand Central Station around here today. But anyway, so I just pick Aiden up. I put him in my car. I don't see her. Okay? I don't see her. And we just head home. And the next day, I got one of the next to last message from her that I ever got. And it was, did you all have fun at the zoo? And I told her no, we didn't get to go, because Aiden actually did wake up sick the next morning, and I'm pretty sure he had the vid, okay? And so we weren't going anywhere. He was sick, and and that was it. She just left. She was gone. Just no messages, no phone call, no nothing. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So that was in March. And in June, just 3 months later, I found out that she had given birth to another child. So she was pregnant, living in my house. Okay? Not my son's. But she gave birth to a child, and she instantly signed that child over to her mother. Now, she ran around here and told people that that baby belonged to her mother and her mother's boyfriend. Let me get this straight. They live in low-income apartments, and I don't know that either one of them had a job at the time, but they could afford afford for you to carry their baby for them, for all that to happen, and for you to carry that baby for the no. My guess is that she got pregnant when she went to Vegas. See, Vegas plays a big part in this whole story, doesn't it? But anyway, my guess is that she got pregnant when she was in Vegas. And yeah, or she got pregnant before she went to Vegas and with whoever it was she was going to visit and taking Aiden with her. Okay, I don't know. I honestly don't know. All I know is that she was pregnant. She knew she was pregnant. She was living here on my dime. She was using the phone that I had bought for her and paid for her every month. And then all of a sudden she's gone out of this one's life. And when I found out about the other one, I sent her a message. Actually, no, I didn't. I went to the courthouse and I filed to take her custody away from her and have sole custody of Aiden. And once I had papers in hand, I sent her a message and asked for her address so that I would know where to have her served. And she sent it back to me. She was served. She showed up at court. And the judge asked her, do you realize what you're doing, what you're signing, what you're giving up? Yeah, I do. It's fine. He said, you understand you're losing custody of your child here, right? Yeah. Yeah, I do. He said, okay. That was the end of it. He said, your paperwork will be ready within a couple of days. We'll mail you a copy, or you can come to, the clerk's office and pick a copy of it up, however you want to do it. And I said, just mail me a copy. It'll be fine. So we walked out of the courthouse, and I'm thinking, just you stay on your side of the parking lot and I'll stay on mine. But oh no, she followed me to my car and she wanted to talk to me like nothing had ever happened. Okay? Not once did that girl ever ask how her child was doing. She hadn't seen him. She hadn't talked to him. She hadn't asked about him or anything in months. And she's standing there with the woman that takes care of him, the woman that's raising him, and she does not open her mouth and ask about that child the first time. And I did not offer any information to her. I knew right then it wasn't none of her business how that baby was doing. Now luckily, he has pretty much no memories of her. None. He has asked who his real mom is, and that has been explained to him. Okay? He knows and understands that his dad's wife is his stepmom. Not his mom, his stepmom. He knows and understands that. But I want to back up just a little bit on this. When I went and picked him up at her mother's house, when we got back home, I needed his clothes and stuff like that out of her area of the house, her bedroom, okay? I knew something was off, okay? I knew something was off, but I just let it go, okay? Because I wanted her to have her privacy and him and her to have their space in order to be comfortable, okay? So I didn't ask me questions. Lord, I wish I had, okay? I wish I had. Because when I finally got into that room, and I had to put everything I've got in me into that door to push it open. And I will post pictures. Okay? Of the filth that I found in that room. And what that baby was living in my own freaking house. I broke out into tears. I had failed that baby. Okay? I had failed that baby because I valued her privacy to the point of I allowed her to allow that child to live in that filth. Okay? I did. I went to Lowe's that evening and I picked up a box of contractor garbage bags. I used most of that box, plus some smaller trash bags that I already had here, to get all the filth out of my house. Okay? I had bought her a makeup vanity. You couldn't even see it. I had bought her that because she had asked for it. We had bought a couch to put in there so that, you know, they could sit and watch TV, watch movies or whatever. I had bought a bed, a new bed. It had to be burnt. It had to be carried out and burnt. The smell was unreal. There was a diaper box. And I would always buy Aiden's diapers by the box, okay? Instead of the little bitty bags, I just bought them in bulk. And I found a diaper box that had been taped up in the closet. And I thought, oh, you know, a box of diapers, I can donate these. I had, you know, another grandson, younger than Aiden, and, you know, I thought, well, maybe they could use these, or what size, let me get them out, see how many's in there, and all the things, you know. I opened that box up, and y'all, I kid you not, she had packed that box full of dirty diapers, okay, and had got my packing tape and had taped it back up like it was a new box of diapers. If this whole addiction journey has done anything for me, it has taught me calm. Okay? I was always that hothead. Paps always called me his little bottle rocket, okay? Because I had a short fuse, and when you lit me up, I just went bzzz and pow, and I'm done, okay? I spoke my piece and counted to 3, and I was done. And during all this, I've had to learn calm, okay? Because what I wanted to do was go jump in my car and find her. What I did instead was take pictures. I took pictures of his little bed that he had been sleeping in. Okay? That had all the dirty diapers pushed up under it, soaked in whatever it was soaked in. All the nastiness. Don't want to be too graphic, but where she had her monthly visitor and just threw those products in the floor, on the furniture, on top of the dressers. Anywhere it landed, that's where it stayed. I wore gloves and a mask to clean that room, and it took me 3 days to clean that room. 3. To make sure I had all the garbage. The smell remained. Okay? We bleached everything. We repainted the walls in there. We totally remodeled that room, especially for him. Okay? That's now his room. We redid the whole thing. Bought him a new bed. The whole 9 yards. And we aired that thing out for, oh Lord, a couple of weeks. And y'all, we like to never got that smell out of there. Never. Now, when she left in March, she really left. It's 4 years and a few months. And the only time that I've heard anything from her is when she filed Aiden on her taxes a couple of years ago, claimed him on her taxes in order to get a bigger refund. I lost it that time. Okay? That was the final straw. She has not checked on him. She has not called him, texted, hey, how's he doing? Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, kiss my butt. Nothing. Nothing. All she's done is continue to have children. Okay? 2 more after the one she signed over at birth. 2 more for a total of 4, maybe more now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she's taken care of the younger 2 or if she's abandoned them too. She's a serial birth giver who needs to be stopped. I know I may get some criticism for that, but hey, if you ain't raising them, quit having them. If you're just going to sign them over at birth, quit having them. If you're going to pawn them off on somebody else to take care of, quit having them. Okay? Because if you think that don't mess with them babies' heads later on in life, you're wrong. You're wrong. Y'all, I'm going to stop here for this part of the story. This one's going to be a little long, but you know what? I can't help it. His story is just this horrid, okay? It is just this horrid. What he was put through. I did later find out that somebody had walked in and had caught her spanking him with a drop cord and took it away from her and threatened her with it. And they chose not to tell me at that particular time. They knew what I would do, I guess, and they waited until she was gone and told me. And I have all this documented with the courts, with Aiden's guardian ad litem, however you pronounce that, his attorney, because he has one. And I have all the pictures and things. Yeah. Anyway. And still yet, this baby has come out to be one of the smartest and one of the sweetest little boys you will ever want to meet in your whole entire life. Somehow, some way, he has survived both his mother and his father, and their downfalls, their addictions. His mother wasn't on drugs as far as I know. She's got other addictions, clearly. She's got other problems. He has survived everything thrown at him. in 7 short years of his life. Okay? And he strives every day to be the most loving little boy in the world. He wants to be loved and he wants to love. And I am so proud to call him mine. So, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting our little channel. Like I said before, these videos are so hard for me to make. They're very emotional for me. The memories are still raw, okay? This may have happened 4 years ago or 7 years ago or whatever, but these memories are still raw, okay? I know there's going to be more questions asked in the coming years by Aiden, and I am prepared for them. I do still closely work with his therapist, and we make decisions based on where Aiden's at the time, as to whether we tell him or not, and if we decide to tell him, here's how we're going to tell him and what we're going to tell him, okay? And again, that's all based on Aiden and where he's at the time. It is not based on anybody else's opinion. So, just saying. I do not let somebody tell me that, I need to do this or I need to do that with my grandson. There's a plan for every single step through this, because I want him to continue to thrive in life and continue to grow into himself and be a strong, confident, independent young man, okay, who contributes to society and sees the mistakes that was made by his so-called parents and makes the choice to right those mistakes when it comes time for him to be a parent and step up and be the dad and the husband and the man that he needs to be when that time comes. So, much love to each and every one of you guys, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.